All right, cool. Ping me if you guys have any questions, and then of course, let's do our quick commercial highlight reel. So, first off, Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope everyone had a great holiday season and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa's fake, so that's okay. All right, so if you've ever seen a waveform file, there's fun stuff you can do. But yeah, I thought this was cute. And then again, thank you, Tasty Trade, for sponsoring today's session. Uh, Shout out to the Tasty Trade Summer Tour Circuit. And before we get into too many news articles, I'd love to get everyone's opinion on the
How do you
market.
get sponsored?
Oh, you were there, remember? No, you sitting next to me at the Bad Trader Tour for the
Yeah.
the birthday thing. So technically, the $100 went from Tasty Trade to my pocket.
Oh,
So we'll
oh.
we'll consider that a soft indirect sponsorship.
Okay. Okay.
There you go. Uh, and let me launch the poll. And where is the button for the poll here? Polls and quizzes. Here we go. Okay, you should see it on your screen. Where do you think the market will go over the next week? Pardon the typo.
Do you mean where is it
Well,
going to end up tomorrow?
okay. I need to clarify that. Okay, by next Thursday, how about that? By our next
Okay.
session, where do you think the market will go in the next 7 calendar days? Okay.
Well, you got window dressing right now. You got end of the year. That's interesting.
Okay. We have two votes, three. I think Linda might be working. Okay. We can stop it there. Okay, cool. Let's share the results. So basically we got three for bullish and one for bearish. Cool. Who is the bear, if you don't mind? Just asking the rationale.
It doesn't matter. That means the market's going to go down.
Oh, okay. There are some weird things happening. We'll look at the gold price, and crypto and the Swiss franc. There's been some explosion in activity, and the markets have been unchanged in that respect. So we'll take a look. Nothing to announce for SVOG, but our latest meeting is now on the content library if you want to check that out. Next month is what is there's the announcement. Next month is with uh a recommendation from our longtime member, Wani. She recommended Mr. Jay Soloft to us, and he'll be coming to speak next month. And let's see if his agenda is published. Oh,
I
not
don't
yet.
think so.
Okay, not a problem. But yeah, I'll announce that as soon as it comes up. All right, cool. Uh, oh, pardon me. I don't have an idiot of the week. We'll skip that. Let's just run through our quick overview really quick. We'll talk about the Trader's Almanac, of course. We'll look at sector rotation. Not a lot in earnings at the moment. We'll look at swaggy stocks with the Wall Street Bets crowd and see what they're trading. Lots of news things happening, of course, though. So let's look at the quick headlines. This is what I was talking about earlier. Somebody knows something. So we'll look at the safe haven dive over the last about week or so. And then let's take a look at why there are substantial rate changes for 2024 and what that means for the markets as well as the elections. And then we'll look at the current hierarchy of the BRICS iceberg and where all the money is. So I got some cool figures from there. And going into the IOU market, banks are not okay. We had a lot of band-aids put on this year, and we're still not really we haven't addressed the root issues. And again with the post-COVID 0% reserve requirement era, it's all a lot of fugazis up in the air right now. And then of course we got to talk about the spot Bitcoin ETF that's coming up. And what else? We'll also talk about
Warren, you're
yeah,
not seeing your screen. It's still stuck on silver.
stuck on silver. Oh, um,
I see it fine.
Yeah, I see it fine
I
too.
see it. Okay. Yeah.
oh, okay,
It'll just be on my end.
okay. Um, how many screens do you have on? Okay, but yeah. Uh, let's see. Oh, a couple things in the chat. Oh, welcome, Flav. Let me
Hey,
share the notes with you.
Just FYI, Warren, I could go back to the first one.
Pardon me? First one?
The first notes is still there too. So unless you update it, it's still fine. You understand what I mean? I mean, so you posted it 3 times now.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh,
It's
it's
it,
because
it's for
people, when
Flom.
new people join, they only see comments from that point on.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, well, I saw it from maybe I got on because I saw the first one you posted.
Oh, okay, okay. I just want to make sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Warren loves overkill.
yeah, no
Okay,
problem.
cool. But yeah, we'll talk about the banking sector with their labor pool. And Wells Fargo is included here. And then here we have nice M1 money figures, and Bitcoin is now number 14, north of the India and their Nifty 50, which is kind of incredible. So we'll look at that. Domestic news. We'll talk about. I wasn't sure what is a domestic image. I thought domestic airlines might be the coolest thing, but yeah, here's Southwest, and we'll talk about their retardedness lately. And then yeah, a lot of California news, a lot of crime. We'll go over that really briefly. There's some interesting weird mandates from Newsom. We'll look at how to play that, and this will not end well because we've seen the equivalent of this in the gun market, which is there's an unconstitutional handgun roster list, which basically restricts handgun availability drastically. I'd say 98% of handguns I can't get because of California's limitations. Like all the cool stuff I can't get. But yeah, we'll talk about that. Lots of candy inflation. And then there's some drastic labor law changes in California, and uh, employers are reacting quickly to it. So we'll take a look. Um, Disney's in massive trouble with people dumping their assets all across the board. And then uh, I was looking at travel figures, and I didn't know there was a hotel price index from Trivago, and we'll take a look at that. And this is related to the Airbnb ban in New York, and as a result, hotels have skyrocketed. And you can see here, New York City is, way up there. So we'll take a look at that. And then the illegal immigration inflows have also affected this too. So lots of things happening. And then we'll look at retarded Gen Z folks on TikTok just spreading messages of mutiny. And I think this is a psyop for sure. So we'll take a closer look at this. Um, there's recruiting shortfalls, of course. We'll look at Tesla's potential earnings. And let's see. We'll look at car prices. Okay, cool. And then real estate, we'll look at current home sales, of course. And we'll take a look at the home construction ETF that we like to reference as well. And then moving on to engineering and technology topics and semiconductor items, we'll look at big tech and how they're making their money. And I got some cool semiconductor updates, at least on the US side. And then we'll look at the so-called EV graveyard of reckoning. And then we'll look at how SPACs have wasted a lot of time and money for the general populace. And then there's the Apple wristwatch ban due to, I think, was it the oxygen sensor issue? And we'll take a look at how that's affecting things. This is some fun insider trading. Nancy Pelosi went long on Nvidia calls, and we'll take a look at this play. Um, we're a little bit late to the party, but the expiration still can make this trade work. So we'll take a closer look at this thing. And I forgot what's Nancy Pelosi's husband's name? Is it Peter? Forgot. Something
Paul,
like it. Paul, Paul, okay.
Paul.
Paul with the hammer and the gay whatever prostitute at their home. Okay. We'll look at the Santa Claus rally with the Nasdaq, and then I don't have any jobs articles at the moment. International news. There are 50 elections happening in 2024. The most important one is probably Taiwan in the near term. We'll look at a weird psyop that was pushed out on Christmas Day. Um, on Koreans, on South Koreans. Kind of weird. We'll take a look at that. We'll look at the predictive programming that's built into the latest movie from Obama's production company, Leave the World Behind, and it's related to this thing. So I'll show you guys why. We'll look at the oil market as well and see how that's going so far. Um, and then we'll look at commodities. All kinds of food staples are going up in price. We'll look at gold seasonality, and gold has been on a rip-roaring It's having a lot of it's having setting all-time highs like every other day. So we'll talk about that, of course. Lots of Chinese news. We'll talk about drugs. We haven't talked about marijuana in a while, so we'll look at how that's impacting things. There's a couple like dumb marijuana stocks we can look at. What is it? Aurora Cannabis. And there's like a penny stock that a lot of kids like. Was it Sundial or something? And then we'll look at other acquisitions. This kind of parallels Nippon Steel buying US Steel, kind of, but we'll take a look at that. Again, we'll take a closer dive into Taiwan's election coming up on January the 13th, and we'll take a look at their all the tradable opportunities here as well. And then what else? I'll talk about the Chinese situation on the southern border. To date, there has been 60,000 Chinese mainlanders that have crossed, and that's the ones we can count. That is an invasion army, among a lot of things. So we'll take a look at that. Uh, um, bankers in China are finally committing suicide, and that's when you know, like that's a clue. Yeah, so we'll get into that. Maybe this could be like the collective idiot of the week, but yeah. We saw what tanks deployed a year ago to stop bank withdrawals, and now bankers are jumping off buildings and whatnot. So, interesting times. And then we'll look at the latest in semiconductor espionage. China is eating itself. So basically, a Xiaomi team stole a bunch of tech from Huawei, and they got caught. So we'll talk about that. And then, but yeah, in general, state-owned industries are falling apart. The CCP is really on its last legs. This is really devastating. Most folks are living on scraps, and income is very low. Unemployment is extremely high, and people are running out of options. And that's why they're fleeing to Thailand, to America, or at least the rich ones are fleeing to the UK, Australia, Canada, and the US. And everyone else has to figure out where to find a job. All right, cool. So that's the highlight reel. And let's get into it with our market overview. Um, Let me see. What did Ross post? Yes, Tesla earnings. What chart is this? Oh, the Qs, of course. NASDAQ Santa Claus rally. We'll take a quicker look at that. RSI on QQQ at the same levels from June. Ta, 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 ta. So going to Ross's comment, is your hypothesis that we will also perform similarly to post-June? Or are you saying this is overheated or going to be run out of steam at some point? Or go sideways for a bit? Overheated. Okay, cool. Sounds good. And then candy inflation. My favorite Haribo gummies now have 6 gummies in a pack. Ah, yes. Shrinkflation is very real. Okay, cool. All right, so let's get into it. Where's my think or swim? All right, cool. All right, market is flat at the moment. It's been a nice a normal morning. Let's go to the analytics and see how everyone is wagering their money. So starting with the top of the food chain on the S&P 500 family, here's the futures, the ES contracts. Everything looks fairly normal, except the deltas for the 0 to 20 zone is a little bit heavier than normal. We've seen this in the 60s and 70s range. Breaking north of 80 is not that common. Put call ratio is a little bit high, 1.8. Likes to live at 1.4. So there's some hedges being put on at the moment as the market's holding its breath. Let's look at the SPX side and see how that's shaken up. For the most part, let's see. Is it matching the big money? Let's see. This is a little bit more optimistic, 1.2. This also likes to live at the 1.4 range. The delta is a little bit more spread out. And yeah, it looks like so there's some divergence of opinions in the supposed smart money camps. So the future side, a little bit more bearish. SPX big boy option traders here are a bit more bullish. Let's go downstairs and see how folks are trading in the SPY side. Well, we call this what? Steerage? third class, second class? I don't know. But let's see. Put call ratio at 1.1. This also likes to live a little bit higher than that. But yeah, so this is a little bit more bullish than normal. Deltas are very uh, chill. So yeah, a lot of more. So SPY matches the optimism set from SPX. And let's pivot to NASDAQ and see how the tech side is looking. And indeed, there has been a nice Santa Claus rally here. Let's go to the charts, go to the bigger charts here. We are flying well above our 200 and 500-day moving averages. And but the distance is or at least yeah, it's very high. So distance-wise, vertically, it exceeds the vertical gap between the 500-day and the 200-day by quite a bit, or a little, or by like a third ish. Yeah. But in terms of inflows, it is still substantial and steady and increasing. So people are definitely buying this up. Three more rate decreases next year is definitely bullish for the NASDAQ. But this is really a melt up with, just a handful of stocks for the most part. So it's not the best situation. And we're seeing some interesting analytics as a whole. We're seeing a very bearish put call ratio. This is kind of uncharacteristic of the current momentum. So deltas are also a bit high for the NASDAQ. So a lot of folks are anticipating, I think, maybe besides Ross, that this might run out of steam. So we'll see. So I'll probably want to wait until we see like a change in inflows to really put a bearish position here. But maybe this could be traded sideways decently into the new year. All right, let's go to our cousin indexes. Let's go to the schizophrenic one, the Russell 2000. It loves to overreact, and today is no exception. Everyone else is flat. This guy's already down 0.5%. So yeah. And again, more divergent analytics. On the put call ratio, it is extremely optimistic, but it's also selling off. So all kinds of things are happening. Nice schizophrenic moment, of course. Let's go to the diamonds and take a peek at the Dow. This is a much smaller index, so we don't have to take it into too much consideration. Traditionally, this is very optimistic, likes to live at the 1.0 range for the put call ratio, and today is no exception. And deltas look kind of normal-ish. All right. And with that, let's pivot to our CBOE Market Volatility Index, aka the VIX, and take a look at that. All right, so the VIX is still at a very high 12.53. And yeah, I am flabbergasted that it is at the 12 zone, considering all the geopolitical risk across the world from the Red Sea to South Korea. But yeah, but we'll have to work with what we have. All right. So, but yeah, most folks are very bullish on the VIX over time. So, yeah, uh, there's 2% of trades are on the opposite side in the 0 to 20 zone. So almost no action. So yeah, we'll have to keep our eye on this. And is our famous VIX trader here? Oh, Dave is here. Awesome. Welcome, Dave. Let me upload the notes for you. Oh, whoops. I clicked something wrong. Oh, whoops. Sorry. Let me upload 1 second. It's a fairly large file. All right, cool. And what did Ross say? Pressure cooker type. Oh, let's check out Amy's on. Oh, there was an interesting dumb thing on Reddit about Jeff Bezos that got questioned by a random street passer. It's kind of funny, kind of creepy. Well, I guess never talk about it. I gotta show you guys. Jeff Bezos. Let me find on YouTube. Bezos. So the idiot was like, here, Bezos Prime Custom. Okay. All right.
It's basically love what you do with Amazon. Hey, I'm a Prime customer. What's above being a Prime customer? I think you Thank you for being a customer. I really appreciate it. Okay. It's basically love what you do.
So yes, this idiot, of all the things he could ask Jeff Bezos, he walks up to basically this Lex Luthor character and asks him what's above being a Prime customer. Like this dude obviously doesn't trade options or own any stock in his life. So, but yes, he's one of what, 200 million household members that has a Prime account, and he asked this dumbass question to Jeff Bezos while risking death, and the bodyguard was like, check
Do
him.
with Amazon.
So the bodyguard's looking left and right because he obviously knows this guy is a moron and is the distraction. So where's the real threat? So the other guy is just eyeballing things, and there's got to be more bodyguards off screen just watching for action. So yeah, I thought this was stupid and hilarious. Let me drop this in the chat if you guys want to rewatch this. Okay. Uh, Getting back to the Amazon charts. Let's see. What was Ross's comments? Pressure cooker tight. TTM squeeze on weekly, daily, hourly in 15 minutes. Yeah, yeah. Lots of actions. Let's zoom in a little bit on the candles. Yeah. A lot of uncertainty. People are holding their breath. Doji City here on the candles. But in terms of momentum, it's a lot of net buying, and it's been holding. 500 million shares net buying a day, looks like. And that's going back almost 8 weeks. So people are trying to bid up the price. And let's go to the analytics and see how that's shaken up. Yeah, still also extremely bullish. Extremely bullish here. 0.2. Look at the calls, the puts here. Incredible. So, and a lot of the bets are in the high delta positions. Like, wow, that's serious. That's practically synthetic stock-esque territory. So yeah, could be going up some more. Maybe it's just holding its breath. ATR is just catching up before the next breakout maybe. Anyone else trading Amazon? Thoughts, comments? Let's see if Amazon has any important news. Nothing that's obvious. There's no analysts with new targets or anything. Nothing crazy. Okay. All right, back to our notes. Okay, cool. And then for those that are just jumping in, so Evernote is having a freemium meltdown and everyone's migrating off of their platform. And I'm using Google Docs for now, but I forgot that Google Docs has a nice kind of outline thing on the sidebar here, which is really handy for jumping around different sections. So I do like that. So let's look at the American Association of Individual Traders. This is their nice sentiment poll to their membership.
They're
And
not traders, they're investors.
they're investors, the pray and hold crowd. Hopefully. And let's see. They are not as optimistic as before Christmas. So after the tryptophan wears off, people are down. What is that? 53 to 46. That's like 7 percentage point loss there. Okay. So that's sentiment. I wonder if I think probably most of us would echo this. Right. Let's go to our fear and greed index from our favorite um
Talking head channel.
yeah, least favorite talking head channel here, CNN, uh, whose staff always has the most outrageous scandals. But anyway, okay, so again, I don't like this moving average, 125. I'm not used to that duration, so let's ignore that. I prefer 200 and 500 day. But yeah, let's see. 52-week highs versus 52-week lows. We're at the extreme greed part here. And ironically, this is the all-time high for the year. So Santa Claus rally in full effect here. And stock price breadth is kind of a better sense of looking at how the market as a whole is moving. And let's see, right now we are also in the extreme greed side as well. And we talked about this to death with the put and call ratio. And again, this is at a very low point. And historically, the 2.0 or north of two moments have only been 2019 and COVID in recent memory. So this is still very bullish, and points to extreme greed. And yeah, VIX is also subdued and low. I think it's drastically underpriced at the 12 figure, but yeah, world wars are good for the stock market. So yeah. And then we'll talk about, and we have more news articles to talk about safe havens. And yeah, we'll leave the rest of the stuff alone. Okay, let's go back to our notes and let's jump to the Stock Traders Almanac. All right, so if December nearly finished, let's see if this is held true. So December is the number 3 S&P month and Dow since 1950, number 4 for the NASDAQ. 2018 worst December since 31, down 8% and down 9.5% on the NASDAQ. Small caps start to outperform larger caps near the middle of the month. Santa Claus rally visible in graph above. 1998 was the best fourth quarter since 1928. Fourth quarter expiration week is the most bullish triple witching week. And post-presidential election year December rankings, pardon me, got cut off. Okay. So let's look at the key items here. Santa Claus rally, check, definitely still going, especially in the NASDAQ. Let's take a glance at small caps again really quick. So that would be our Russell 2000, which is the IWM symbol. And let's again verify. That seems like a gorgeous rip up. That's like a y equals 3x slope. It's just beautiful. And still doing, yeah, immensely well. So let's see. So in mid-December, did it start improving? Yeah. Yeah, so it kind of formed like a base here, and then it started taking off after 1220. So yeah, um, big movements there. And if we pull up the SPY and compare the same time period, 20 days. Yeah, so middle of the month is about here. So yeah, everyone kind of like had that big boost after the 20th. So okay, so um, it's not that small caps did well exclusively. It looks like everyone did well to Santa Claus rally. Cool. And yes, the expiration week was very bullish, which is unique among triple witchings. Awesome. Cool. Let's take a peek at January and see how that's going. This will be a key barometer month for supposedly the pace of the rest of the year, but we know 2024 is filled with landmines everywhere. So let's take a closer look. January's barometer predicts the year's course with a 0.743 batting average. 14 of the last 17 post-presidential election years followed January's direction. Every down January in the S&P since 1950, without exception, preceded a new or extended bear market, a flat market, or a 10% correction. S&P gains in January's first 5 days preceded full year gains 82.2% of the time. 13 of the last 17 post-presidential election years followed the first 5 days direction. November, December, January constitute the year's best 3-month span. January Nasdaq's powerful 2.8% since 1971. January effect now starts in mid-December and favors small cap stocks. 2009 has a dubious honor of being the worst S&P 500 January on record. Dow gained more than 1,000 points in 18 and 19. All right. So yeah, if you're in the Russell 2000, you can, hold that maybe a little bit longer. And then let's see what happens that first week in January. It should be very exciting. And the last trading day of the year is tomorrow. So very exciting. And yeah, we'll take a look at that. Cool. Let's jump to sector rotation and look at the 11 subsectors of our S&P 500. And if you guys have any individual tickers, we'll throw that into the hodgepodge right after this. So here we have a nice 5-week tail, 1 week at a time. And yes. All right. So losers for the week. Again, this is slightly stale data from Tuesday, but that's okay. So number one loser here is XLE. Winners include real estate. We know tech stocks and our NASDAQ cousin here, XLK, is doing really well. XLF is our US domestic financials. We got utility stocks. consumer, the P is staples. P is staples. And then XLY is consumer discretionary. XLV is healthcare, not doing great. Here's XLB, building materials, industrials, kind of improving, not really. So yeah, not doing great with energy stocks, kind of still deciding what it wants to do. Okay. Let's jump to our own stocks. Any tickers you guys want to add in here? I think this is still saved from last time. Okay. Yeah. If you guys want to throw more things in here, let me know. Let me see, maybe the bottom one of the form data is better. Oh yeah, this go ahead, Kirk.
What about GBTC and ETHE? Do we have those in there?
GBTC.
Nope.
Sorry, GBTC. What was the other one?
ETHE. Yeah. See if they show up.
Okay. Mara, Riot, Zucoin, Micro Strategies, Affirm. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. Uh there's this beautiful slingshot from Mara here. Wow. Bam. What a trajectory. So that's these 1 week tails have been explosive. So I imagine the Mara chart just looks like a rocket ship then. Yeah. Wow. That's what? Like y equals 5x. Okay. It is slightly bouncing off the top here, losing steam, but yeah, wow. Okay. Down 9% for the day. Oh my gosh. People are gonna like die and explode if this ETF doesn't pass. But the deadline is tomorrow, correct? I believe it's tomorrow. So yeah. Let's go back to our chart. And oh yeah, I can add crowd coin. Oh wow. Uh so with the trend lines you drew here, Ross, are you also hinting that this might be running out of steam, a little overheated? Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. But yeah, everything hedges on tomorrow. So we can take a look. And let's see what else we got cooking here. Yeah, let me add crowd to the mix. Let's check out Snowflake too. Okay. So yeah, Affirm is in the far right here, so next to Coinbase, all the other crypto proxies, CrowdStrike's doing well. Yeah, let's go to the table view. Again, Mara's the sector leader, or not sector leader, the leader of this episode of sector rotation. And our buy now, pay later stocks are also really doing really well. I mean, is that good? For America, not really, but sure. And let's see what else is doing well. What is Neo doing up here? Neo? Oh, okay. Um, this is good. New sets of shorts. But anyway, let's see. Let's go to the bottom. Who are losers? Chinese EVs, natural gas, um, Chinese stocks, Chinese stocks, Chinese stocks, Chinese stocks, oil, uh, fertilizers, Apple. Uh, here's the FANG stocks clumped in the middle, and yeah. Any other tickers you guys want to add here? Oh yeah, Ross Pinduoduo. Let me add that. Uh, add some other Chinese stocks here too. Okay. Yeah. Pinduoduo. Oh, Pinduoduo's up here actually, right here. 146. It's gapped up and held. Okay. And its cousins though are on suicide watch. And let's see, what other chart is this? Affirm. Also running out of steam, maybe. Hmm. Ross and his subtlety and finesse. But yeah, I think we're seeing an overall trend. I don't think it's isolated to these high flyers, but the overall market is quite overheated. I mean, the bears are starving. So yeah, we'll see what's up. Any other tickets you guys want to throw on here? Okay, you guys think of anything else, we can always revisit. And if we see interesting news articles, yeah, we can write that down. All right, cool. Let's go to our earnings, see what's shaking up. All right, it's Thursday after close. Let's see, let's view. Calendar. What? Oh, is it already over? 29. None? Oh, wait, did we miss everything? Or is this not working? This says one more. Why is it not showing? Uh, some technical difficulties with earnings whispers. Okay, we'll skip this. Let's go to toss. Wait, I'm actually not sure. I don't use it like that. Any others? Let's see. December. Okay, earnings. Is there a better place to go if earnings whispers isn't working? Okay, here we go. Oh, whoops, wrong date. Pardon me. Um, okay, we'll have to skip this. I'm not sure. We'll circle back. Okay, let's check out Swaggy stocks. Again, if you're new, this basically scans the Wall Street Bets subreddit, which is a channel on a very popular forum. And instead of reading the articles, this just looks at a sentiment analysis of all the top posts, or all the posts, effectively. So you'll see what the kids and millennials and alpha folks are talking about. So number one ticker is Mara, Tesla, AMD, Nvidia, Coinbase. What is HUT? HUT?
But it's another hey
Hey, welcome, Wani.
yeah, it's another crypto mining stock.
Oh, I've never heard of this. How
Yeah.
cool.
Well, people are talking about it. Wow.
What is their unique market or value proposition compared to the other folks? Let's see. High performance computing. Okay. What is mining? Mining. Yeah, I don't know. Haven't heard of this. Who is on our team? That would be fun. Let's
I
see.
don't know. They just did a reverse split and
Uh,
merge with another company. I think it's a Canadian company.
okay.
I have
Looks.
plenty of shares on them too.
Oh, cool. This is a homage to Alan Turing's, looks like his laboratory. So Hut 8 was the building that he did his research in for the Enigma code breaking. So
Hmm.
if you guys know Alan Turing, his story is incredible and really tragic.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was he basically he was chemically castrated for being a homosexual. It's
Mm.
revolting, like, and it's just really dirty what the UK government did to him. But yeah.
Oh, never heard of him.
Have you seen Imitation Game, the movie?
No, no, what is
No.
that?
That's what it's about. It's about his
Oh, oh,
Imitation game. Oh, really?
oh, I am not sure. Let me drop this in the chat.
Imitation game.
And
Is
then
it good?
Hmm.
I started watching it, but I haven't finished, so I do want to watch it this weekend.
You should
Oh, okay.
also read the book Cryptonomicon by Neil Stephenson.
Okay.
Cryptonomica.
Okay.
What
That's
is this about, like cryptocurrency
Oh
thing?
no, no, no. Allied code breakers during World War II.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it does also have a modern day thread about people trying to start a cryptocurrency by finding uh, gold that was buried by the Japanese in the Philippines or someplace like that.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's always fun.
Really?
Wani, it's crypto, but vintage. Vintage crypto.
Vintage crypto. Okay.
Retro crypto,
Retro.
vintage crypto. Let me see what comes up and if we search those terms.
I need to get that domain.
Oh my God.
Vintage.
Oh my God, let's do this. Oh, in case you were wondering, is Alan here? He's not here. I'm gonna need help to build a future app. Like I'll tell you guys, but there's a Carfax, right? Well, we
Mm-hmm.
need a we need a Hofax. So guys can be like, hey, just go to checkthehofax.com. So if you want to know a girl's history, chassis damage, previous owners, you go
It,
here.
it, it's called Instagram.
Yes. But what if it's private? Then you need, Warren's services because he data scraped everything before she went private.
That's right.
Okay. But yes, vintage crypto. Let's see if that's available. No. Oh, okay. Retro crypto. Let's see if that's available. Yes. Retro crypto. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
hey, Warren, what about what we talked about, the dating business, the hitch or ditch?
What
I
do I
want
call it?
to register
Hitch?
that domain
Yeah.
name.
Yeah. Let's see if it's available. Hitch or ditch.
We
Let's
should we
put.
should really talk about it.
Yeah. No, let's do that. Oh, I think I missed a text
Is
there
it
between you and
available?
Linda. It is not.
It's
Oh,
not?
it's not. Hitchorditch.com is not available.
What
Okay.
else?
Yeah, you have to maybe just be a little bit more creative. Yeah.
Ditch the bitch.
Okay, ditchthebitch.com.
Yeah, is that available?
No, but ditchthebitch.store is available.
Oh,
Um, oh my God, it's
oh
hilarious.
wow.
Um, there's there's a joke. What is it? Women's joke. There's like each floor is a man. Let me just try to find this joke. The husband store. There you go. Have you heard of this?
No.
Okay. So
What is this?
there's a husband store and women can go in, but you can only go up or you can exit. So you can't like go to floor one, floor two, and then go back to floor one. So the first floor, when women go shopping for men, it's the first floor, these men have jobs. And then, women are intrigued but keeps going. And then floor two, these men have jobs and love kids. She's like, oh, that's nice, but I want more. She goes to the third
Mm-hmm.
floor. These men have jobs, love kids, and are extremely good looking. She's like, wow, I want to keep going. And women always want the best deal. So yeah, they're always
Mm-hmm.
overreaching. So next floor, these men have jobs, love kids, drop dead gorgeous, and help with housework. And then she's like, oh my God. And then goes to number five. These men have
Mm-hmm.
jobs, love kids, are drop dead gorgeous, help with housework, and have a strong romantic streak. And then she goes
Mm-hmm.
to floor six. You are visitor 31 million, blah, blah, blah. There are no men on this floor. This floor exists solely to prove that women are impossible to please. Thank you for shopping at the husband floor. So yeah, it's classic.
Funny.
Yeah. Okay. My dog just farted. Okay. Uh,
Hey,
okay.
hey, Flavius, where can you watch Imitation Game? Is it on Netflix or somewhere?
I don't know where I my cousin he has it in his house and he can stream it to me. So
Oh, dude, I'll solve
Oh.
I'll solve all your problems. Here. Uh,
I have it
Pot
on Blu-ray.
here's a
oh nice.
Potlocker,
here's a non-malware website to get
Pot
everything.
Potlocker.
Warren has never paid for Netflix and continues to refuse to pay for Netflix. Or
Yeah,
or
Conrad. Yeah, Conrad does the same. He goes
yeah.
to a website. He can get any movies he
Yeah.
wants.
And I also don't own a TV, so that helps. But yeah, here's Imitation Game if you want to watch it. Uh,
Potlocker, new.
there's yeah. Uh,
When Warren saw the site, he said, "You had me at put."
yeah. Oh my
Put. He loves
God.
puts.
That's pretty good.
Very apropos.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Oh, oh, wow.
Is it
That's
is
so
it
so so
safe to
so.
go to websites like that? Is it safe to watch it from website like that?
There's much shadier websites. This is not really one of them. This is yeah. Uh, Ironically, I know about this website because I was dating the the cocktail waitress at the Venetian poker room in Macau, and when we're chilling at her place, she pulled this up, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is awesome!" So that was what 10. I was 24. So yeah, this website has been around for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Wait, where are we? Oh, okay. We're finally getting to the news cycle. Oh my God, we have an hour left. Okay. Wow, we're taking our sweet time here. Um, okay, cool. Finally to the news cycle. All right. Let me drop this in the chat. Oh, you guys have all the notes. I don't think I need to do that anymore. Oh wait, Michael joined. Oh, let me share the notes for you, Michael.
I'll just take a look at some of the individual articles,
Oh yeah, no
probably.
rush. Yeah, no rush. Cool. So this is like a good article, and if you guys have been confused, like I have, so in summary, there's a dollar puke fest, a huge blow up in the Swiss and franc currency, bond yields plunging, gold surging, crypto spike-a-thon, and stocks unchanged. It's been incredible. So let's look at some charts here. This is kind of small here. What are we looking at here? I'm not, this is layout. Okay, this is the ES, and oh God, this is so hard to read. We need a better chart.
I'm not sure I would put much faith in a 2-minute chart.
Yeah, that's too noisy. But let's see. So here we see the Magnificent Seven, very tech heavy here, falling apart yesterday after 11-ish East Coast time. And then let's go to the article. What's the explanation? Every other asset class is a dollar dumped, while gold, bonds, Swiss franc, and crypto all ripped higher, as makes it sound were liquidated shortly after 10 a.m. ET. Yep. And then zero DTE call covering was very heavy as Magnificent Seven sold off. So yeah. Um uh I got a little hurt on Tuesday for zero DTE, so I didn't trade yesterday. And I'm really glad I didn't. Okay. Let's see. And then Swiss franc soared 1% over the USD, the second biggest ultimate safe haven gain of the year, outside of FOMC announcement days. So this is a big deal. And then the Swiss franc is a known safe haven. And if I remember correctly, the Swiss have the highest savings rate of 2023. I saw this in passing somewhere. Let me just see if I can remember savings rate. Not the mortgage rate. Personal, personal savings rate. Why is this not showing up? Okay, but anyway, I think that's true. I believe the Swiss have the highest savings rate, but yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay. What else? So that's a Swiss franc. 2-year yields plunged yesterday. Okay. Bond rally snapped. The 30-year yield down to unchanged for 2023. Okay. So many charts here. Dollar plunge at 7 a.m. Okay. And then dollar's loss of gold's gain. Of course, let's pull up the gold chart. It has been incredible. Okay, gold. Yeah. So yeah, all-time new highs. It's almost breaking into, I mean, it's not closing there, but the upper bound of the candles at 2098. Wow. So that's incredible. And right now, gold is 2073. Silver hasn't moved. It's been relatively untouched. So that's why the gold silver ratio is skewing upward. So we've seen it at the 83, 84, 85 level for a long time. Now it's at 86.1 and continuing to go up. So yeah, I think I might consider like today, since we only have 2 days left for the trading year, uh, like swap. I have 2 ounces of gold, and I think I'll swap them for silver or something. Or I want to get into platinum. Platinum's gone up 12% in the last 3 weeks, and I have like 1 gram of platinum. I think I need a little bit more, but yeah. So yeah, lots of things happening. We'll talk more details when we get to our gold portion of the show. But yeah, this is a good article if you want to dive into it a little bit more. Okay, cool. We got a lot of stuff to run through. Let's go a little faster. Okay, cool. So yes, 2024 has massive deficit problems, and that's one major reason we have so many rate reductions. It's because we can't pay off the debt. It's a debt service of $1 trillion. And don't forget, it is an election year next year. So we will see a lot of softness in the marketplace to throw as many softballs towards the White House as possible. And uh the sort of canary in the coal mine is our beloved SPR reserves. And if you guys have noticed, gasoline prices have come down just in time for the Santa Claus rally and is held there. But we're depleting the SPR at quite a quick clip. And let's see what the numbers look like at the moment. All right, so we're at combined volume 350 million barrels. Capacity is 714. So what is that ratio? 340.2 divided by 714. 49% filled. And average price of oil was 29.70 per barrel. And what is crude at the moment? 71.81. Okay, so yeah, we're definitely abusing our savings account here. All right. So yeah, um, challenging. Where's the refill rate? Okay, we'll skip that. But yeah, so that is not great. Let's see what else. Here is the total federal deficit spending for each fiscal year. 2024's first 2 months only in millions. So we can already forecast a little bit into the future. And I'm not like a financial genius or anything, but these negative numbers add up to more negative numbers. So yeah, that can't be great. So yeah, we're at 33.1 trillion at the conclusion of Q3. And total debt for 2023 fiscal year is 38% of all federal receipts. That seems like systemic wipeout and full-on default risk. But yeah. So yeah, that's not exciting, but yeah. Okay, let's fast forward a little bit forward. As promised, we have some nice BRICS figures, and let's see where the US dollar fits in here. Okay. Okay, here we go. The BRICS account. All right. So BRICS makes up 37% of the world's GDP. G7 is only 30%. And now we've had the future, axis of Islamic evil here. UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Iran here are now BRICS members. And then BRICS share of global oil production has blossomed from 19% to 41%. So yeah, big things are afoot. Cool. And let's shift now into our fiat currency and alternatives section. And again, we were collaborating before our show started. And as a disclaimer, Warren is not your go-to expert on crypto, by the way. He's a dick and gold biased. So yes, just be forewarned. I would go to Lord Tethers or Wani for the latest crypto news. So reach out to them. All right, let's go here. And I know Silicon Valley Bank is not in there, it's not top of mind for most people, but it should be. That bubble was never really like handled correctly. And yeah, let's take a closer look. Or let's go to the charts first. So regional banks, the ETF again is KRE. We haven't looked at this in a while. Looks like this is a nice recovery. Decent inflows at the moment. Who makes up KRE? Let's see. KRE stuff. Let's see who the top 10 players are here now. Okay, holdings. Okay. First Horizon, Truist Financial, Western Alliance, Citizens Financial Group. Okay, I only recognize like three banks here. Citizens, East West, and like Western Alliance. I don't recognize the rest. So yeah, some reshuffling here. And yeah, this hasn't been it's lost money for the year. Okay. But yeah, so yeah, we got to keep our eyes on banks. And if you recall sector rotation, this is the number two um uh improved sector. So that was XLF. So these are the bigger commercial banks. They're not the regional players. So in XLF, you're talking like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan. And generally speaking, bankers never lose for a variety of reasons. And but yeah, this was no exception. So yeah. But there's some problems coming further down the line. So we'll see how they handle the disparity in rates with their own assets. Okay. Let's speed up a little bit and dive into the spot Bitcoin ETF, and especially with the upcoming deadline that's tomorrow. All right. So supposedly in value, this would dwarf the current $50 billion crypto-related ETF market today. So we have a lot of proxies, like with Hut 8 and its cousins. So yeah, let's take a this doesn't tell us much. Let's go to ETF spot Bitcoin deadlines, look into the specifics and see how that will play out. Okay,
I think it's
so
like the 8th, right? January 8th, 10.
there's a deadline tomorrow for something. Oh, application deadline is tomorrow. Decision is January 10th. So in theory, you could ride this wave. So I guess yeah, this might be a the Santa Claus crypto run right here. So we'll have to keep our eye on that. So yes, S1s are due tomorrow. Can we get these S1s? Will they be public? That would be kind of cool to see the the scary legal parts. Yeah.
Warren, what's S1?
S1 is it's the prospectus for companies that want to apply for approval to become a security.
Mm-hmm.
So like pre-IPO documentation. So like we could look at it's a good example. Snowflake. Uh Snowflake S1. Oh wait, that's their library. We want to see the actual document. Okay, so it looks something like this. This is the common formats, and the cool part is the like disclaimers and like why the business will fail. Those are always fun statements. I don't. There's a lot of text to sort through, but it looks something like wait, uh, wait. I built this website, a nonprofit. Ah, let me go to my LinkedIn. It's in my profile, I believe. Wait, where'd it go? Ah. Okay, post-IPO nonprofits.com. Is that right? Yes. Okay. So S1s look like this. Like here's statements. So here was boxes. So this is like 10 years old, but yeah, we have a history of cumulative losses. We do not expect to be profitable for the foreseeable future. Zendesk, we have a history of losses and we expect our revenue growth rate to decline. Our costs increase and may not be able to generate sufficient revenue to achieve or sustain profitability. Here's NetSuite, a big ERP player. We have a history of losses, and we may not achieve profitability in the near future. Marketo, we have a history of losses and may not achieve consistent profitability in the future. Jai, we have a limited operating history and have a history of cumulative losses and don't expect to be profitable for the foreseeable future. ServiceNow, we have a limited history of operating profits and our growth, blah, 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 blah. So you can see like S1 documentation can be really scary and all for all the right reasons.
So it's basically like a disclaimer for
Yes,
the company before they go IPO, right? So
exactly,
just to
exactly.
protect themselves. So
Yeah,
that's all.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, see, the thing is, there's a whole bunch of Bitcoin ETFs waiting to be approved. in January, a whole bunch of them. So I think if SEC approves one, they would have to approve everything else, right?
Yeah, I don't know. So, I've, in more pessimistic circles in the Austrian gold community, some folks have hypothesized that they're going to approve most of them and then
Mm-hmm.
they'll let it run up. And then
Mm-hmm.
because there's an ETF now, it enables a large like more players to short crypto as altogether. And then
Mm-hmm.
they'll milk everyone dry and it'll be the biggest pump and dump we've ever seen for crypto.
Yeah, yeah, that could really possibly
So,
happen.
but yeah, but between now and December 10th, or sorry, January 10th, when they announce things, I think it'll be really bullish and we'll see a lot
Oh,
of, yeah,
it has already been running up
it has been, yeah. And I
like
think,
crazy,
and I
like
think this,
crazy.
and I think this will increase. So, yeah,
Yeah,
but then it,
mm,
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
like Coinbase, Mara, Riot, all those crypto mining
Oh,
stuff,
yeah, yeah,
they've
yeah.
gone ballistic.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So you
They've
missed our
just gone
sector,
ballistic.
you missed our sector rotation. So this is this week's sector rotation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
Well,
all of the, it's buy now, pay later and crypto.
yeah,
That's it. Yeah.
yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So
And look at Affirm.
it's,
Oh, sorry, Mara. It's had the biggest
oh
increase
my
over
God,
5 weeks.
and I've
It's
been doing like cover calls on on my position, and I have to keep rolling them out, rolling them out, rolling them out. It was just a heck of a stressful week for me last week.
uh
It's like extremely, extremely.
well, covered calls isn't the right instrument, in my opinion, for something that's a rocket ship. You
Well,
want
I
some.
didn't know. I
Oh,
didn't
you didn't know.
expect
Okay.
it. Yeah, I
Oh, okay,
just didn't
okay.
expect that this ATF thing. Well, first of all, I didn't really know when the approval announcement going to be, right? And I
Yeah.
thought, well, I got like two, three, a month out. Come on now. I mean, all this crazy
Yeah.
hype has already started. It's
So, yeah,
terrible.
no worries. We'll be talking about this very closely for the next 2 weeks. So, yeah, the
Yeah.
market's watching this like a hawk.
Yeah, it dropped every crypto mining stock, including Coinbase. A lot of them dropped a bit today,
Yeah,
but I
today,
think
yeah.
people are going to be buying the dip and it's
Yeah.
going to go back up.
Yeah,
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 this
yeah.
is insane.
And then there's the New
I never
Year's
seen anything
effect.
like this.
Yeah, and then people are optimistic after New Year's. I anticipate people will throw significantly more funds at it. So we'll keep our eye
Oh,
on
yeah.
it.
Next week, gonna
Yeah.
run up again. I have a feeling. So shorting Coinbase, that's what I've been doing. I'm just keep losing money. I just close
Yeah.
everything. I already
Just
closed
yeah,
all my coin. Yeah, I
don't short
did.
until
I
later. Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
I closed my Coinbase short. It's funny because Tom Sostom was doing the same thing. He's been like shorting Coinbase and it's just not working out for him too. It's funny.
Yeah, but
Uh
he doesn't care. He's got infinitely deep
I
pockets.
know, I know, I
yeah.
know. It's just so overbought looking at charts and things like that, right? So,
Yeah.
but the power of the people, the formal crowd, they are just unstoppable. Unstoppable right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And then pivoting back to banks, so their own labor pool is having problems. And as we can, so here, this is so let's briefly recount that Credit Suisse basically collapsed this summer and UBS bought them up. So no surprise that there's the biggest, head shopping is here. But Wells Fargo is having massive problems as well. And I have a bunch of friends there, and they're all anticipating like layoffs for like the older clump of folks. And there's large severance funds already prepared in advance for this. So yeah, a lot of reshuffling is happening right now. So yeah. Yeah, we'll keep our eye on this. But yeah. Don't forget, Wells Fargo is the preeminent mortgage lender in the US. So if they're getting wiped out, that doesn't speak well for the money selling community. All right. Cool. And then here is again the M1 money supply, and Bitcoin is number 14 after Switzerland, but ahead of India. It's just incredible the current market cap, compared to the M1 supply of entire countries. So, you're seeing global demand here. And yeah, it's ahead of Russia, Saudi Arabia, Sweden, Austria, and Luxembourg. Yeah, incredible. Cool. All right, let's look at domestic news. And then domestic news, of course, also Southwest. Let's look at their ticker. Um, they're rewarding fat people, and market is not thrilled. So, yeah, we'll see how that shakes up. How is the overall travel sector doing? Let's take a look. We just completed one of the most busy travel seasons in human history, and it is kind of petering out. In the words of Ross, it is overheated, maybe. Yeah. So ATR will be collapsing here and then poised for a breakout at some point. And we'll see which direction that is. But let's look at the sector leader really quick, which is Delta, and see how they're doing. So yeah, they're also having a slump. So things are petering out. So we're seeing momentum also slightly dip. So I wouldn't say time to throw on shorts, but we'll keep our eye on that. So yeah. California news. Let's look at this. Let's look at some California items before we get to the rest of domestic news events. So this here is in reference to the larceny law, which has been upped to $950. So if you're under that, it's not even a slap on the wrist. You get, I mean, nothing really happens to you. But yeah, so this mofo here has been arrested 90 times and has had 31 misdemeanors. And let's see. He is homeless and sustains a drug addiction through shoplifting and selling stolen goods.
Warren,
Hi, Rob.
hey, does that mean that they can add up 900 or 90 $10 or $20 thefts?
Per top listing? Yeah. That's what I wanted to ask too. Like each store, they can go in and steal like 900 and some dollars per store or per day.
I am
Look at the very top.
I am not sure. But yeah, he's arrested 90 times.
They're consolidating the 31 misdemeanors.
Ah, okay.
This could be strike one in the most conservative state in the country.
You're right. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if that's a trend. Let's see. Consolidating misdemeanors and larceny. Consolidating. Oh, how do you spell misdemeanor? Oh, Lord.
They'll just overturn it in court. They'll appeal it, and the Supreme Court will say, "Oh, it's too bad. You can't do that. Set them free."
Merger. Wait, what? Larceny. Jail credit consolidated. Um, I don't know. For some reason, lawyers are very underrepresented in SVOG. Why is that? Uh, oh, because I mean, we subscribe to the get rich slowly methodology. Lawyers don't do that. It's like
They
so
have insider access. Come on.
we have to work and study and meet up on Thursdays at on the morning, right? And they just called up their
They
buddies.
just call Paul Pelosi.
You know, you might be right that they'll get him out later, but in the meantime, I get to do some good works and feed and clothe this man at no cost, no direct cost to himself.
I know he's a member of the Rolex protection squad that we finance, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So there's more stuff. So okay. So yes, we're seeing consolidated misdemeanors, which is interesting. Okay.
Gender
Okay.
neutral toys. Oh my God.
So this is the latest to come from our beloved governor, and unfortunately, he might be selected to be in the Oval Office. We'll see how this goes.
We will go to hell.
Mr. Hairjail himself wants all toy stores with more than 500 employees to carry gender-neutral toys or face state fines.
Oh my God.
What?
That is so ridiculous.
And don't forget, Target is already selling insemination kits, as I showed you guys about a month ago. So all kinds of shenanigans. So yes, what will this do? We'll find out quickly. This is going to be interesting. But yes, and then don't forget, Target had massive blowback from their summer line for the tuck friendly swimwear for trainee kids. But yeah. very complicated, and we'll see how this happens or how this gets managed. But this is definitely not laissez-faire economics. So yeah. Okay, back to our notes. So here's Mattel, in case we want to see how this is going to affect producers. So, fortunately, we do have a case study, which is gun manufacturers. And what happened was there was a approved roster of California handguns. So if it's on the list, you can sell it in California. If it's off the list, you basically can't get it. The only backdoor would be to law enforcement officers can buy any handgun. But and if they decide to sell the unavailable handgun to civilians, that's allowed via personal private party transfer, but there's limitations on how many and whatnot because there's been plenty of cops that buy guns that you can't get as a civilian and just resell it for money.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
not a loophole. That's the law.
yes, that's the law. Okay, that's the law. So yes, but the problem with this is this pissed off a lot of manufacturers, and only the most popular models are even sent to the California DOJ. So the distinction is you need a magazine disconnect so the gun cannot fire without a magazine. And there's some other minor tweaks, like revolvers have to have a separate locking mechanism, blah, 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 blah. So basically, it's a pain in the ass for manufacturers, and they have to do extra testing. And the testing is expensive, complicated, and there's no appeals. So if you're like Smith& and Wesson or Glock, and you send in 20 of your most popular product lines that have been modified to be California compliant, then the labs rejected. It's just a lot of back and forth. So only like the top models get sold because everything else, like the testing and the modification, is just too much of a pain. So yeah, this will basically destroy the industry, and a lot of gun manufacturers don't even want to deal with California. And yeah, so yeah, so these are the players, and then we'll take a closer look because we don't really know how this is going to shake up, but can't be good. All right, cool. So that's that. Candy inflation. We did talk about gummy bears already, and yeah, so this is directly related to cocoa prices, which are peaking since 1978. There's cocoa futures, right? I don't think I've ever looked at them. Let's see if we can find them. Cocoa, cocoa, cocoa futures. Dave, if you're there, do you know what Cocoa Futures? What's the code or I mean the ticker? Has anyone traded Cocoa Futures? Um, oh, I saw Willy Wonka. It's a great movie. I was really impressed. I'm
Yeah.
trying to, yeah, it's really good. Very fun. And I'm trying to find, oh, Cocoa Futures. I'm trying to find my first business card that I made. Um, I call myself Warren Wonka because I had a candy vending machine empire. So the movie was really fun, and it's the same actor that's Paul Atreides in Dune, which is kind of cool. Um, Looks like Cocoa Futures is not traded. It didn't populate. But yes. What did Ross say? Unfortunately, everything's connected to economics, gender neutral guns, or traditional Yes. Yes. This, yeah. So, yeah, Ross is on the money here. Like we're all preaching to the choir here. Yeah, don't worry. Okay. Back to notes. Candy inflation. So yeah, cocoa prices. Um, but yeah, yeah, it's sad to see shrinkflation for candies. It's just it's not fair. But yeah. Okay, let's talk more California use. There is a huge, I mean, there's a lot of laws that are launching in 2024, and I'll do my best to keep up. So this is a big one, which is minimum wage raises for fast food workers, and this will spike it from 16 to $20 an hour. And
Wow.
as economic students, we all know raising minimum wage automatically leads to
Yeah.
underemployment and unemployment,
Yep.
and this destroys small business owners. And you know, uh, my, my family, made all their money in the 80s and late 70s and 90s with restaurants. So like this hits close to home. Like this is really sad. And Pizza Hut is laying off 1,200 delivery workers in California. And they've already
Wow.
stated that they're gonna try to work with the established delivery driving services like DoorDash and whatnot to kind of offload that burden. But yeah, it's substantial. There's a lot of problems with this. And this is why when you go to like small mom and pops, prices are skyrocketing. And
Yeah.
this is really sad. Yeah. So yeah, this popped up in the stock subreddit. So yeah, if you guys, there's some cool comments here if you guys check it out. I'll drop it in the chat. So this affects 30,000 restaurants in California and 500,000 fast food workers. And a big chunk of these are disproportionately illegal, undocumented, like, whatever's here.
Mhm.
There's an interesting viewpoint on this.
Mhm.
You said you said this is going to destroy small business owners. When as if a small business owner deserves anything except for to breathe and have their contracts protected by the government. And so then I thought, well, wait a minute. If they don't deserve that, who's really being improperly affected here? And it's not the small business owner.
It's the
small business.
consumers.
The
It's the small
customer.
business customer.
It's the consumers.
It's a
Yes.
customer. It's a customer.
Yeah, we're the one that having to pay,
Well,
more.
no, we're not having to pay. We can choose to pay elsewhere. And so we don't eat at Pizza Hut. We'll eat more at Whole Foods.
Right, right.
So the Whole Foods prices will go up.
Everything gonna go up across the board.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, even as regular consumers, we can do our part to still support small businesses. So, like,
Absolutely.
like I haven't gone to Chipotle in years.
Mm-hmm.
I like to support the local taqueria. Um, and the restaurant business upside down. The rate that raise minimum subscription. Yeah, for sure, Ross. No question. Cool. But yeah,
Yeah.
good distinction, Rob. Okay. Um, cool. Let's pivot to other domestic news. Let's go across to the East Coast and look at South Carolina. So we're seeing some pushback against the overall CRT, DEI, ESG baloney, and now it's hitting the pocketbooks. So let's look at Disney and see how other folks are deleveraging and divesting out of them. And is it warranted? So let's see. Not quite. It did have a big gap up in November, but it is not having a great time. Momentum is still on the positive side, so it's not a rip your face off rally. But let's whoops, sorry. Let's see how the analytics are looking. People are buying the dip. Okay. So this is a little bit challenging. So yeah, but we'll keep our eye on this. Okay, but yeah, Disney on the woke train is going to run into some problems in the future. Okay. Cool. Adjacent to travel research, I found out there is something called a Trivago Hotel Price Index, which is really cool. It shows you global cities and shows you what I think average or median, the average rate per night for a standard double. There's a map view, which is not helpful. The graph view is a little bit better. And while that loads,
does this include all the fees that they tack on, like resort fees and so forth?
Yes. Yeah. So let me zoom in a little bit for you. So here's the top world cities according to Trivago. And number one is New York. So there's a lot of things pushing up New York. So because the legal immigrant situation and the Airbnb ban in New York State, which has forced or resurrected hotel business. So yeah, so that's New York up here. Other top cities, let's see, Vegas, Lima, Peru, Moscow, Warsaw, Poland, Chicago, London, Bogota. Bogota is Panama? How do you,
Colombia is.
Colombia? Oh,
Colombia.
Colombia. Okay. How do you pronounce this Viking phrase? Does anyone know?
Reykjavik.
Reykjavik. Okay. Where is that again? I forgot.
That's in Iceland.
Oh, okay.
Iceland.
Oh, the lagoon baths and stuff. Okay, yeah. Has anyone been?
No.
Reykjavik. Okay. Okay. Oh, wait, none of us have gone?
None of us have gone to Iceland.
Wow.
This is Iceland, right? Iceland?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What's his name has gone? Armor been to Iceland.
Almer's been everywhere.
I know.
Uh, and Amr is a huge fan of what is it? Couch surfing, and couchsurfing.com has had
I
a
thought
huge
Flavius told us about couch surfing.
couch surfing.
Oh, maybe armor.
Amr hosts this as well because he used it a lot in his younger years, and he tries to help out. But this business, like there was a big Reddit thread about this in the travel
Hmm.
subreddit that they're now charging for subscriptions for hosts and for travelers, and it's destroyed this community. And there's got to be a replacement in the works. But yeah, okay.
What do you mean they don't charge
It
for
used to be
the
like a you
host?
could post and it's like it was everything was free, and now they're
Hmm.
they're trying to monetize the community, which is
Um,
against the sharing ethos. So it's kind of sad. But yeah. What else is here? Marrakech. This is what? Next to Casablanca, right?
Morocco, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, and if you're a woman, do not travel here. Like tons of girls get like raped and gang raped and disappeared here.
oh,
Like,
really? In
yeah,
Morocco?
like
Wow.
I don't think like I don't unless you like I don't. I'm gonna sound super racist here, but if you're a beautiful young woman, do not go to this kind of third world country. End of story. uh, yeah, yeah. End of story. They look at the men here will look at you like you're meat. It's like yeah. Find out the hard way. Okay. Anyway,
Because everyone else has veils.
yes. Where do
Yeah,
they have
yeah,
trash bags
right.
for a reason? Yeah. Okay. But yes. Sorry. The takeaways here. Average price for a standard room in New York City is now 486 euro. So
Wow.
spiking. Is anything decreasing? This orange one's decreasing. What is this? Toronto, Paris, Miami. Who's the cheapest right now? Manila. Oh, who cares about
Manila,
Manila? Delhi, Bogota, Johannesburg, Sao Paulo, Moscow, Santiago, Rio de Janeiro, Shanghai. Oh, Shanghai's,
Shanghai.
yeah. So those are the cheap places to travel. Oh, no, Japan is super cheap to travel now. Like they've decided to inflate the currency into further oblivion. So yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so the reason I bring this up is Airbnb. Let's take a look at it. So again, New York City banned Airbnbs, and tourists and illegals have nowhere else to go except hotels. So that's pushing up room rates to new highs. And let's look at the Airbnb ban a little bit closer. And if it's happening in New York City, the question is, can it happen to the other markets?
right. And
Okay.
why is New York banning Airbnb?
It's mismanaged for one, so it's kind of changed the sort of real estate game. No, most notably in like touristy cities and also like Southern California. So what happens is, um, they're not managed well, and let's see, let's see if there's
Wani, all you need to do is look at YouTube and Instagram as to how people will abuse the Airbnb framework. You know, they'll
Abuse? The abuse?
not
Okay.
abuse.
I never
Abuse
use
is the
Airbnb. I have no idea.
no. I'm
oh
talking about
really?
the
Yeah.
hosts. The hosts are,
Yeah.
just what they'll do is they'll go for owner, what they call as unoccupied guest, right? They
Mm-hmm.
will strike a deal and say, "Hey, can I sublet or sublease the property from you?" And what they'll do is they'll go and approach like thousands and thousands of property owners and strike um, sublease contracts with them.
Mm-hmm.
And what you have? You have a city or a town um, that is unapproachable for people who really want to rent because they have a job in the place or for whatever reasons, right? So that that whole um, dynamic has been disappeared. So that's what happened in New York is tons of Airbnb wannabes got these types of contracts to sublet, and for people who genuinely wanted to, well, live in New York City couldn't. And that is the story of every other big tourist town or any town, if you look at it, like in California. Cost of real estate is going up mainly because of this.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is what they call as the unintended consequence of crowdsourcing.
Mm.
And then when the Airbnb is next door to you, it's not an Airbnb, it's a party house.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. Yo- Yeah.
Yeah. And then you piss off all your neighbors, you're destroying property values, you're increasing crime. Orgies happen, drug deals happen, drug production happens. And what
Mm.
else? I'm blanking. I forgot. But yeah.
Yeah. So we should short Airbnb then. I
Yes.
actually been thinking about that.
Okay. So yeah, I already started, but
You already started?
yeah, so the reason for that was the momentum was changing. So it's at the zero line in terms of inflows and outflows, which is what I like to see because it's having a nice reversal. And
What's it trading at right now?
yeah, pretty bearish,
Mm-hmm.
0.87. Yeah. So we're in good company and I expect this to, expand into other states. So
Cities, yeah.
yeah. And then you also have to realize like New York also doesn't have capacity for all the illegals. So their hand was a bit forced, but it's positive in the sense that the market is finally getting some feedback. And Airbnbs have been really shitty for a long time. Like when I went to Vegas in May for the Electric Daisy Carnival, um, we were scalped by the host, and it wasn't me that booked it, so I couldn't quarterback everything. But it was a piece of shit property, and they were just charging peak rates. There were three or four bathrooms in the house, and half of them didn't work for various reasons. Like it's just a nightmare, and the
Yeah.
host didn't care. And this is
Yeah.
this is why like I've gone back to like living in hotels when I have to travel.
Yeah. That's
Warren,
why
hopefully
I
you had
never
fun
use.
paying the hope you had fun paying the cleaning fees, 340 bucks.
They're ridiculous, and the house wasn't clean to begin with. So I've had it with Airbnb because they
Wow.
have no standards. And then the other thing is that I love to do at hotels is the sandwich trick. Uh,
Sandwich.
So here's the deal with the cleaning fees and all other
Sandwich
fees, right?
trick.
So the fees are not subject to taxation.
Mm-hmm.
wait, what? I didn't know that. Wait, what?
Ye-
What?
Yes, yep.
What?
These are
I gotta
all
write that
all
down.
I couldn't understand that.
so
What
fees.
happened?
The cleaning fees and all the other fees are not subject to taxes,
Mm-hmm.
while the other things like your occupancy charge, right? If you pay 100, 200, 300, whatever per night, that
Oh my
gets taxed.
God. So
Yeah.
that's why the fees inflated because it's a tax dodge?
Yeah,
WTF? Ah!
yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
that's why I
exactly
never
right.
use
So
Airbnb. I thought to myself, like, why
Uh,
would I go sleep in someone else's house? And I never use Airbnb. I always stay at a hotel.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, I
And now
never
it's
liked that
it's super
concept at
shady.
all.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Great
but but,
party
but yeah,
house, though.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, and I just DJ'd a wedding in Malibu, and all of the neighbors in that little Malibu Valley hated that one party house because they rent the
Mm-hmm.
shit out of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, if you go to a hotel, try this trick.
What
It's
is
called
this?
so yeah. Uh, um,
Sandwich trick.
so when you check in, you have to give your credit card and an ID, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Slip a 20 or a 50 or a 100 in the middle, nicely
Yeah.
folded. And then like I don't even say anything now. Like the front desk, they understand what I want, and they'll just be like, "Oh, here, sir, I upgraded your room to a suite," and blah blah blah. And then, like I'm off on my way. Uh, this has never not worked in Las Vegas and New York City. In other places, it's kind of hit and miss. Like it depends
Mm-hmm.
if like their experience, how shady they are, and if their boss is standing next to them. So there's a lot
Uh-huh.
of variables to this, but yeah, it's fun. And yeah.
Wow.
And like if anyone's going to CES in Vegas coming up, this will work like crazy. Yeah. Okay.
Nice tip. Never heard of that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh my God, it's only 11:43. We gotta fly. Okay.
What is
Uh
this?
this is a psyop. So what happens is there's a lot of TikTok clips of like pissed off, pussy ass Gen Zers that are complaining about the military. Like, oh my God, there's no privacy, the pay sucks, there's shitty food, disrespectful leadership, and no sleep. Like they're a bunch of cowards for one. But the other thing is you have to know which platform this is on. And Warren turned down $500,000 from fucking ByteDance last week. So this is kind of personal. Like fuck TikTok, formally, and they're pushing up all these or they're forcing this to perform in the algos because they want millennials and Gen Z alphas to not join the military, and they're encouraging this pussification. But yeah, like this is just
Mhm.
me off like crazy. And then we got what? Is Rob still here? Yeah. Rob has, two of his boys in the military. Like any comments or thoughts about this?
Yeah. So if any of you have worked in tech and you have subscribed and looked at Glassdoor or looked at Blind, you'll understand what technology does to command and control structures. And it's the same game, right? What's the old, there's a super old saying, never argue with a man who buys ink in 55-gallon drums. You never fight with a newspaper editor. You use your letters to the editor to affect change in your universe. And in a lot of ways, what technology has done for us since Gutenberg, you know, you know Martin Luther, I wasn't there, but I do not believe that the main technology that allowed Martin Luther to make the upheaval of change that he did was the nail. It was the paper. And having paper to share your thoughts across time is amazing. I read a quote from Carl Sagan yesterday. Every book ever written in a humanity is dwarfed by the amount of bytes, bits of data that go across the airwaves in a reasonably sized city in 1 year. Not all bits are created equal. However, we have evolved through, how many millions of years or whatever, that we communicate via voice, which, I mean, right now, I understand that I am stopping 8, 11, 10 other people from using their voice. But that was required. Now, Warren is using technology to read while I'm speaking, and I hope the rest of you are as well. That's a huge technological upgrade that we have not evolved for. Same thing in the military. What's going on here? When somebody from Texas can talk to somebody in a Virginia barracks about the murders that happen on the Texas at Fort Bliss or whatever the new name is. So it's an upheaval. As PJ O'Rourke once said about before it was called X, but he said about Twitter, who had the great idea of letting every idiot in the world talk to every other idiot?
Mark Zuckerberg. Oh, speaking of which, we don't have time for it this time, but we should talk about Facebook's market saturation next time. But yeah,
there's
cool.
money to be made in idiots talking to other idiots. Come on.
There's money to be made. Yes, yes.
We have an ex-president who finances his legal defense the same way.
Hunter Biden. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, all kinds of fun stuff. And then as a additional extension of this, yes, this is slightly old, but in general, there's a huge military shortfall in the recruiting ranks, and we're turning to migrants to it's like Starship Troopers. Like you can fight to get your citizenship. And
Come on, mercenaries have been around for forever.
Correct, but this momentum is disturbing because this parallels the fall of the Roman Empire. So,
this is a good idea.
This is a good idea?
Yeah.
Just curious, what's the rationale?
The reason it's a good idea is when you have people who are not natural born, unwilling to step up to protect their homeland, you should offer that opportunity to everyone else. I actually believe we should not allow people to vote unless they've served in the military. Raise your right hand, get a card, you can vote now.
I would support that.
And
Yeah.
this is why the immigrants are coming in and they are getting the opportunities. Guess what? That headline wouldn't exist if everybody went and joined up. And
Right.
what happens, and see, here's the other kicker. They're showing Air Force there, a bunch of losers, right? But if you look at the number of people that are currently in the Army, you are joining one of the largest fraternities in America. I walk around all the time. I'm in California. There is no military support here. But I still see guys with hats on, and I'm like, hey, go Army, beat Navy. And they're like, oh, yeah, and that's Army right there on your screen. And when you leave this, yeah, sure, you're 22 when you get done. But guess what? For the next 40, 50, 60 years, you're talking to people that can say, oh, yeah, I did that too. And so natural born Americans are missing out on the future, their future. They just aren't going to get it. And it's too bad for them, but good for others who wish to protect my homeland. And I'm thrilled to have my homeland protected, even if loser Americans won't do it. And we have to bring them in.
Oh no, I get that.
That's why it's a good thing.
Just to challenge that, but when the Roman legions are fighting barbarians, and then eventually the Roman legions fall apart, and they have to hire barbarians to fight other barbarians, that's how Rome gets sacked.
But the Roman legions didn't have the Atlantic and the Pacific Ocean on each side. You could walk in easily. You cannot walk in easily here.
Right.
So, I mean, that whole thing is just not a problem. I mean, you've seen the video, the reason why the US is so far overpowered, right?
No.
Yeah, there's a video. It says the reason why the United States, or the reason why America is so OP.
Mm-hmm.
And it stands for overpowered, not a
yes.
not original poster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. military.
No, not military. America.
You're still off today, right?
Yeah, that first one right there.
Who's Luther?
Okay. Well, good.
Hi, Luther. We're gonna mute you.
So this first video here, it's on your list there. No, it's that first one.
Okay.
I hope this will change your view or cement your view, as it did for me, how America, it's going to be very difficult to cause us any serious problems. Our coastline and our rivers, it's the three best ports in the world are on our shores. Deep water ports, San Francisco, Portland, and Connecticut. That right there, that Yucatan Strait and Florida Strait, that's the only actual issue we have geographically. Not the only one, but that is our issue. And if you could take that over, you're gonna cause some issues. However, as he outlines at the beginning of this, the Mississippi River allows for such cheap transportation. We have huge amounts of farmland and iron, etc., that are basically on ocean ports. And because Iowa has corn on an ocean port, it has access to trade in the world in ways the rest of the world does not. And then,
but that isn't always the case now, though, since in some cases the river has been so low that barges can't go down the river.
Yes, this is true. And also they've got it locked up. I don't mean locked up like you can't use it, but locks so you can use it up to the Great Lakes. So from the Mississippi, there's a circle that goes around the eastern United States. And then, yeah, it's
no, I'll watch this. This sounds really, really cool. Geography dictates destinies. Absolutely. No question about it. If you live near a river system or if you live next to the ocean, you're gonna do infinitely times better than some inland landlocked whatever.
Well, that Mississippi is beating the Rhine and the Danube.
Yeah, no question. I mean,
Yeah, the only thing that might beat it is the Amazon, but Brazil doesn't have what we have.
Correct. And hell, great white sharks traverse up the Mississippi into the Great Lakes that way too. It's crazy. No, I'll check this out. This is cool. And then thank you also, Ross, to I've never heard of this. Monsters of Man. Is this an indie film? This sounds so
I think
cool.
so. It's a pretty cool movie, but it is pointing towards what's likely to come because with the humans making or being vulnerable to
Right.
all kinds of issues, you have
Yeah.
robots, and then they have articulated well in this movie as to how these robots are using uh, human connection to control them, as well as artificial intelligence to control these things.
I'll check it out. I'll check it out. And I'm really curious about the predictive programming aspect, especially with Leave the World Behind and other related films. So we'll check that out. Yeah, yeah. Very cool. Gosh, we're almost at time. And we're so far from the China section. Oh my God, we gotta fly. Let's just look at headlines. So did someone have a comment? And by the way, does anyone know who Luther is? I'm not familiar with you. Okay, all good. If not, no worries. Okay, let's look at our next news item. We digress quite a bit, but yes.
Well,
Okay.
you made a reference to Luther when you were talking about someone at the initial part of the discussion here.
Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos. But
That's so in.
and then the participant shows up. That's super freaky. That's awesome. Um, yeah. The poor NSA agent assigned to me is just like, what is going on with Lauren? Okay. Anyway, let's see. Tesla deliveries. Let's see. Wait, so Tesla already had earnings or didn't? Wait,
They did, yeah,
they did, right? This
before, but not the new quarter though.
okay, okay. Okay, yeah. I'm not tripping. Okay.
Before.
Okay. So let's see. Um, they post record deliveries, but what was the problem? Let me see. But miss on okay. Expect record deliveries, but miss on 2 million vehicle delivery target. So they're behind.
Looks like it.
Fourth quarter typically strongest year from Tesla deliveries. We expect that to be the case this year. Has anyone even heard of anyone's friends buying a Tesla? I haven't.
My kids bought Tesla.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of Teslas up here in the Portland area,
Portland?
so
Okay.
somebody's buying them.
Yeah, I see a lot of them in the Bay Area, everywhere.
Yeah. And then especially with the charging stations being universal now for like Porsche and the other competitors, supercharger wait times will skyrocket. This is going to be insane at some point. But yeah. Okay. Cool. Visualizing car prices in the US. Okay. Not only are
Hey,
capital
that other person had a pretty important point that he made on he or she, whoever it is, on
Oh,
the insurance. The insurance on EVs is, I think,
mm,
2x, almost 2x on gas on gas vehicles.
yeah. The total cost of ownership is substantial and actually unknown for a lot of EVs. Yeah, it's a serious problem. And then there's only so many provide or so many carriers that can even insure Teslas. And any damage from EV is so complicated from a repair standpoint. It is a nightmare. I mean, it definitely throws right to repair laws out the window, right? And then Tesla has been had a bunch of pushback for if you abuse the auto driving, they'll disconnect you. Let me try to find this. Da, 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 da.
So you don't own the car then,
Correct. I thought I
even
saved it.
after
Yeah.
having paid the 40, 50,000, you don't own the
Correct.
car.
Correct.
Wonderful.
Where's the article? God, gosh, come on.
I think the
Uh,
best thing to do is to have your vintage car remodeled and have it made into an EV. There are many channels on YouTube that do that, and you can have your EV and not be connected to the grid,
Uh,
wirelessly.
yeah, I don't know why I can't find this auto driving and the removal problem. It's in one of my tabs. I have too many things open. I'll paste it back here later. But yeah, let's look at new car prices. Let's see. There's not much here. I thought there was something else. Okay, but okay, let's skip this. This one. Okay. Um, we
To
gotta go
second
fast.
what you said about old cars, I've often said you people with fuel injectors were asking for it
Fuel injectors.
because you're having a computer control your fuel delivery. You're not having a mechanical fuel pump into a carburetor, where all I have to rely on is air pressure on a carbureted vehicle.
Oh, I see. You get slight efficiency gains with fuel injection in theory.
And the government takes over your car because it's run by a computer.
Well, you can
Especially
say
when
that
it is
about anti-lock brakes too.
Agreed.
Okay. Uh, got it. Let me find this article. I forgot to paste the link. Pardon me. But my car goes faster with fuel injection, Rob. Not that I wouldn't say no to like a big Holly carb.
A little safety, little freedom. Your
Yeah.
call.
Okay. It's just a carburetor. Um, okay, sorry. Okay, let's go a little fast. So home sales suck. No surprise there. But the ITB ETF is still skyrocketing. And then we've looked at this before. There's home builders, paint companies, roofing companies in this ETF, and they're doing fairly well. So yeah, we'll have to keep watching the sector. Um, okay, lots of tech news. Let's start. And we'll probably have to go a little bit over time. So if anyone has to bounce, like Kurt, it's all good. Happy New Year's, Kurt, and I'll catch you next year. Uh,
It's okay, I'll hang on for a bit.
yeah. But yeah, this is an awesome breakdown from Visual Capitalist. Here's like big tech, and they show you exactly how they make their money. So a lot of us like to talk about Amazon, and we talked about it earlier today with its very tight sideways action. But yeah, Amazon retail is a big chunk of their online stores, and yeah, I thought Amazon Web Services was a little bit of a bigger deal, but yeah, not the case. But at least you can't go anywhere in Sunnyvale or Santa Clara without bumping into their huge campuses all over the place.
So there's something hidden that's going on here with Amazon. Is if you go up a little, they
Hmm.
have their segment called advertising services. Watch out for that. That's going to grow huge.
Yeah, the programmatic ads and whatnot behind this is a very growing sector. Yeah, and then being in marketing, yeah, it's massive. And it's a lot of B2B players here. Yeah. So
And I
excellent.
believe they also just announced, didn't they, that uh, prices are going up on Amazon Prime if you want to watch shows without ads.
Yeah. And let's look at Apple really quick. So no surprise here, the iPhone carries the company. Um, yeah. And then yeah, services is 25% of that. That's incredible. But yeah, okay. And then Alphabet, heavily relying on search ads. No surprises there. YouTube ads, like I think this is so saturated, it's ridiculous. But yeah, okay. No surprises there. Microsoft, they're in the server game. You know that. Office products, Windows, gaming, LinkedIn. Yeah. Bing SEO work is like Bing use and adoption is growing because Google's having a lot of captcha problems and not playing nicely with a lot of folks. And yeah. Let's see. Meta makes all their money on advertising. What happened to the metaverse, Mr. Zuckerberg? Okay. And then let's see. NVIDIA is heavy on computer and networking. No surprises there. And then graphics. Okay. GPUs galore. Yeah, cool. Awesome. And let's see. Where did this article go? Okay, cool. All right. So let's see. This is in relation to the Samsung plant in Texas. $17 billion. It is delayed and won't come online for quite a bit. So probably until 2025 due to shortage of skilled workers. Oh, sorry, this is for Temi Semiconductor, but yes, it is a shared problem for a reduced labor pool. So yeah, okay. Um, we don't have time for this. We've talked about EV problems to death, especially starting a month ago. Let's skip that article. SPACs are all blowing up. No surprises there. We'll skip that. This is kind of dumb. It's just a dumb slap on the wrist, literally. Let's talk about the juicy stuff. Nancy Pelosi and Paul Pelosi. All right. So Nancy Pelosi bought 50 call options on Nvidia on December 20th. Strike is 120. Let's take a look on our charts. How is Nvidia doing?
But isn't that news? Isn't that event that they bought this thing 3 months old because it takes
Yeah,
three
I'm
months
not
for
sure.
that to
It doesn't
implement?
specify. Yeah. Is this hearsay or is this that? Yeah, it's the I forgot what it's called. It's the Congressional Insiders.
Disclosure on stock
Yeah.
purchases.
Let's see if we can find it. Nvidia. Oh, you're right. It expired on 120. Okay, okay.
No, no,
Leap.
2024.
Oh, shit. Sorry, my bad. Okay.
So they bought Leaps
Yep.
but then when did they buy it? I think the question is when they disclose it, it's normally old news because they
Yeah, so it's at least 90 days old, right?
yeah.
So, let's look on the chart. So
They're doing poor man's covered calls, man. Deep in the money, weekly roll.
that's possible. So yeah, so with a 3 month window, they probably got in October-ish, and the range is so it's north of 400. So they anticipated to go, I guess, higher than that. So
No, they
by
don't. They just want to control the shares for cheap.
okay, yeah, it's I mean hard to tell. Strike price of 120. Yeah, yeah, okay. I think that's a fair point. Okay, cool. But yeah, that at least that's on the radar screen. Nasdaq we talked about to death. Let's skip that. Let's get to the fun stuff. International news. I mentioned this before. 50. There's over 50 elections happening this year, and one of the biggest ones is Taiwan happening on January the 13th. So a lot of key things, including our own election. Oh, India's election. Okay. I do like the Indian system of where they color the nail. Like I've seen it like on my like friends' LinkedIn and stuff, which is kind of cool. So you can't overvote. Let's see, Mexico has an election. What else? The EU Parliament. Okay. South Africa. They're having all kinds of weird things like kill the boer and whatever. Okay, we'll skip this, but yeah. So lots of things happening. This was weird as hell. When you talk about, programming problems. So Israel made a hypothetical Hamas Christmas Day attack on a South Korean girl. Like, what? Do you want to drag in the DMZ and the Taiwan Strait issues into the Israeli conflict? Like, what's happening here? I have no idea, but South Korea is pissed, and rightly so.
It's a propaganda machine on full high gear.
Yeah, yeah,
The, they pull in everything and anything to help their cause because their cause is not really working.
yeah. And they did a South Korean girl on Christmas. Like South Korea is a Christian nation now. Like wow, this is mind blowing. So yeah, I have yet to talk to my Korean friends, but I'll ask around. So that's happening. So then I mentioned about this. Obama's production studio produced this. So this is mainly centered around cyber warfare and like Tesla's running over people. And like, I haven't seen it yet. I heard it was really bad. But yeah, I'll check it out eventually. Cool. Let's pivot to oil and commodities news. Is Dave still here for our regional oil expert? Oh no, he dropped off. Oh, that's okay. But yeah, let's just go over the headlines because I gotta take off soon. But yeah, China, India accounts for 9% of Russian oil, fuel, and exports. So they're just flipping it for their Russian counterparts because they've been sanctioned. So no surprises there. We've talked about it before. Yeah. Cost of grain is at a 15-year high, so commodities are skyrocketing all across the board, and climate changes is not helping. Cool. Let's see. January is so pivoting to precious metals news. January is seasonally strong for gold on top of all of the current buy-in. And in today's session, gold has already dropped like $15. So something's happening. Let's pull up the charts really quick. There's a slight drawdown today. Yeah, so it's pulled down some bucks. Okay. And let's pull up again the Shanghai Composite Index. And as I've taught you guys, the magical number that the CCP is trying to keep it at is 3,000, and they cannot hold it. They're in trouble. Okay. We won't look at the currency forex stuff today, but let's go to other Chinese news. So yes, if you thought fentanyl was bad, wait till you have Chinese blunts. So yes, Chinese marijuana grows are taking over rural Maine. So, but yes, if you're ever hiking in a national forest and you discover weed plants, calmly turn around and run because you're on cameras. There's armed men with guns and attack dogs very near your vicinity, and you need to run away as fast as possible. Okay. Um, but yes, so this is affecting both the legal market and the illegal market. So I'm still waiting to hear back here on fentanyl-laced marijuana, but it hasn't hit my Google Trends alert yet. But I anticipate it coming down the pipeline at some point. So yeah, scary stuff happening. Um, there's a big giant uh, Chinese battery plant happening in the Midwest in Illinois, and locals are not happy about it. And I'm getting concerned about the sort of the sheer amount of foreign interests on U.S. soil. I mean, this is local to us as well, right? With Travis Airfield Base and the very questionable projects around it. But yeah, so this is supposedly a lithium battery factory, and like that's has all the locals panicked. And one good fire would light up the whole region. So yeah, it will be complicated. So yeah, so that's that. And then let's pivot to official news from Beijing. And Xi Jinping is very concerned about this upcoming Taiwanese election. And again, there's three parties that are vying for control there, and one of them is very pro-China, one of them's kind of like a hybrid, and the other one is anti-China. But then again, I'm surprised that there's still a pro-China movement in Taiwan at all. It just shows that decades work of infiltration and subversion have been successful. So that's not good. But officially, yeah, we'll have to. Let me see how the polls are shaping up by next week, and then I'll give you guys a better report on the Taiwan election side. But let's look at the Taiwanese ETF really quick. So it's EWT. It's a typical iShares product, and as you can see, it is in free fall and all over the place. People don't know what to do, and the largest component of EWT is TSM, which is Taiwanese Semiconductor. So this at least is doing somewhat okay. But yeah, I'm not sure why EWT is exploding all over the place, but yeah, we'll keep our eye on this. And yeah, oh yeah, so I mentioned it here. Um, and yes, let's talk about the southern border. There has been 60,000 legal migrants that have the ones that we can count from the southern border, and who knows how many more have made it through. And this was like Bloomberg had a great visuals on this. So Yeah, I mean, if you thought Mexicans across the southern border were bad for business, imagine guys that look like me but are a foot shorter show up. So yeah, let's see. So on paper, they say, it's because China is, having economic difficulties that people want to migrate to America. But, you know, given that my family's been in this line of work, with running high-level coyotes for immigration fraud, this has never ever come up. This was never a point of ingress ever. These are the bulk of these, I imagine, are sleeper cells, and they're all military age young men. So there's nothing good about this. Like people saying, "I want a better life." Like fuck you guys. You guys are talking shit. But yeah, it is concerning. Um, so yeah, here's like Hot Springs, California here. Yeah, there's some great photos, and like you can see, like they're middle-aged young men. It's kind of concerning. And I've had relatives that have overstayed their visas in America, and then they work illegal jobs in restaurants, and then after half a year they can't hack it. It's too hard. They go home. So I don't really buy this. But yeah, the count is 60,000 in the last 14 months. And the main point of entry is on the San Diego side. And yeah, very, very concerning. But yeah, they got some great pictures and video footage here. So yeah. Yeah. Um,
Hey, Warren, are there women also?
Not a
Not just
lot, but there are, but there's not a lot of them.
okay.
And the cost for this is a significant barrier to entry. Like you have to go to Central America, South America, and then truck your way up or hitchhike or
Yeah.
whatever. And this is a 30 to $60,000 endeavor. Like bullshit. Like we know China's,
How
half
they
the
get the
country,
money?
yeah, half the
Yeah.
country lives on 100 USD a month.
Right.
Cut the bullshit. These are all these are military, these are sleeper cells, like 100%. They're gonna disappear once they get to the US side, and then later, questionable things happen. So but yeah, these are beautiful images to document the situation. So but yeah. Uh so yeah, I mean, I wish I had more intel, but like I can put two and two together. I know like this is not what it seems. So yeah. And then where are the real economic migrants going from China? They're going to Thailand and Vietnam. That's legitimate. That's organic. This is bullshit. Okay. All right. But yes. Yes. Chinese bankers are finally committing suicide. It is that serious. They'd rather kill themselves than face Beijing's wrath. It is that bad. It's just horrific. So, with that headline, let's pivot to Chinese tech stocks and Chinese large cap first with FXI. And they've been gapping down. It's been an awesome shit show. So, yes, very delicious time to short China. And we got CWeb, Chinese internet stocks. If you want a little bit more, little more leverage, there's KWeb. And then sector leader here, of course, is Alibaba as the main loser. If you want a Chinese bull, then it's Pinduoduo with their Temu operations here. But everyone
Wow.
else is not having a good time. WeChat is not having a good time, as well as what's the other one? I forgot. Oh, Baidu, the Google clone, is also not having a good time. So yeah, let's go back to our notes. We talked briefly in our intro about infighting. So Huawei, sorry, Xiaomi, the smaller cell phone manufacturer was caught stealing technology and hardware from Huawei. And so um, you're basically seeing this is in effect a commie turf war. Huawei is aligned with Beijing, Xiaomi is aligned with Shanghai. So that's where this beef comes from. The article author doesn't know that, but I'll just explain it. But yeah. So yeah, multiple state-owned industries are also going bankrupt. Command economies just don't work. People don't understand that. And there's massive wage protests, and unemployment is skyrocketing all across the board. And youth employment has got to be past 50, 60% already. It's like all over like Chinese social media. It's endless stories of woe. And currently for the winter holiday, folks are told not to come back. They're giving 10-month winter leaves, like 10-month leaves. Like you're basically getting fired. So that's happening for a lot of factory workers, and we'll see how that shakes out. But yeah, for most folks, China is extremely poor. Half the country is living off $1,000 a month. Oh, sorry, $1,000 a year. And yeah, that's why, like, again, the southern border crossings just don't make financial sense to me. So yeah, that's it, guys. Went a little bit over time, and but yeah, had a lot to cover. Let me export this one more time because we made some minor modifications, and you guys can walk away with this doc. So yeah, other than that, let me run our poll while you guys while this is uploading, and I would love to know what everyone's expectations are for at the S&P 500 until next we meet next Thursday for our first session of the year. Okay, let me relaunch the poll. Okay, so you should see it on your screen. There's some typos here, but yes, by next Thursday, will the S&P be bullish, sideways, or bearish? I would love to hear your thoughts.
I already sent it in.
Yeah. Okay, we got 5 votes. Okay. Last call. 3, 2, 1. Let me end the poll and share our results. So we got 80% saying bullish and then 20% saying sideways. And no one's saying bearish. Okay. So yes, Santa Claus rallies will continue. And especially the crypto rallies. So we'll see how that shakes up. Okay. Let me upload the document here and then let me also end the recording and I'll start uploading later today. Cool. Questions, comments, guys? Let's pivot back to the ES and see how the market's doing. Still very flat, very, very, very in the words of Ross, we're seeing a lot of pressure cooker candles here. Just very, very tight. Yep. Oh, uploading. There we go. Okay. 22 megabytes are uploading. Yeah, and then next week, for next session, I'll do a little, I'll have less articles, and we'll do more of a review of 2023, and I'll try to go over our past notes. Sorry, excuse me, and then highlight some hopefully educational bits from our very dynamic trading year. Cool. So yeah, the PDF is uploaded if you guys want to grab that. We just had some minor updates. And let me stop the recording with this.